The problem with the sexualization of Briar.
The problem indeed. Now,
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. This seems like a straw man.
this whole thing is going to be nonsense, most likely. I'm here with Aura and Saber, and they are going to suffer with me through some nonsense. Because
Greetings.
I didn't know that there was a controversy about Briar's design until I was told about 12 hours ago. Because I don't keep up with a lot of the league shit. I just kind of play the game occasionally.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
It's a terrible game. Never play it.
I think the lore's cool. That's mostly
As
what I
long
pay
as they
attention
keep
to.
it this time.
Arcane is good.
Arcane is really cool.
Yeah, no, I really like Arcane. I really like the lore of the league. I don't play it that often anymore.
But Briar, new champion. Apparently, some people are talking about how she's over sexualized, and other people are just being generally weird about it. And well, we'll see. Beware this audio that we're going to be listening to. Not great.
Briar is basically a crazed vampire, so to have her wearing such nice
God.
clothing is very conflicting with the idea of madness and the idea of derangedness and dementia.
What?
Just right off the bat.
I might be reaching a little bit.
Vampires wear nice clothes all the time, you psycho. Even the nuts ones.
Nosferatu, Dracula.
Yeah, Nosferatu and Dracula aren't really what you'd call all there, but they dress nice. Even the fucking weird ones that live in sewers typically dress at least sort of nice. Well, the more rich ones that, for some odd reason, live in a sewer.
Twilight
But
and
yeah.
Underworld, both people
Yeah.
are wearing designer clothing.
Yeah,
Their
no,
home, their choice.
I would say in most vampire media they wear designer clothing, unless they're just monsters, and then they're like weird bat dudes who skulk around in the shadow.
And usually don't wear any clothes.
Yeah, they don't wear any clothes at that point.
Then at the end of the last Voyage of the Demeter movie, you had Demeter. You had Dracula running around like a dapper gentleman in London.
And he was messing with the one guy he let live.
And he had an awesome cane.
He did have a
an
sick
awesome
game. So let's try and figure out what's about to happen here.
Is very conflicting with the idea of madness and the idea of derangedness and dementia.
So,
Briar
yeah.
just has the Kaisa problem. Because the problem is, you can't.
The Kaisa problem.
If he thinks she's like overly sexualized because his mind's in the fucking gutter, this is another problem I have with people who just have to sexualize everything. It's like, come on, calm down.
I mean, Kaisa wears a full-on bodysuit made out of symbiote. Like, I don't know how that could be considered sexualized.
It's because it's skin tight.
Does
Yeah.
that make superheroes sexualized?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
I'd be willing to bet this guy would say there's a problem with Superman's costume if he was a lady.
I think they should all wear the female armors from that one Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
See how you can actually move around in that.
Oh no.
Have a
Which one was that,
is
Saber?
Are you talking about the one that
The one
puts
where they
them all
made
in, like-
Frost. The one that like, gave Frost a really stupid body.
yeah, that's 11.
11. Yep. I stopped playing around that point.
11 has a lot of problems.
Let somebody actually wear those kind of suits and see how well they can actually do their martial arts and move around.
No, it'll be fine. Trust me, bro. I have an internet degree.
of derangedness and dementia. Briar just has the Kaisa problem. Because the problem is, you can't have a character that is functionally and visibly deranged. You can't have a
What?
insane asylum character be so composed and so luring unless that's part of her character, which is clearly not.
Okay,
What?
am I like retarded or did that just not make any sense?
No, that
I-
didn't make any sense.
She's
You
not even
can't
out
have-
yet.
Yeah. He said you can't have a character who's alluring and deranged.
We've had you
Yeah,
absolutely.
Andres.
I want to point out you absolutely can, especially if she does have a mental disorder, coming from a like a somewhat medical professional. People can absolutely flip a switch. It is absolutely a thing,
Yeah,
and
like
she's like inhabited it pretty well. Like even Jinx from Arcane, She can be fairly pleasant one moment and then try to gouge your eye out the next. That is a thing. Different types of schizophrenia, bipolarism. It is a thing. And he's talking about
A blood
that
construct.
not being part of her character. He doesn't know her character. We had one video showing her off and having her do her escape from prison scene.
Yeah,
That's
and then
all we know about her.
then there's a couple of like videos where you can see it, like some of her gameplay,
Yeah.
and there's the dev note if you want to read that, where they talk about how her design is supposed to invoke a blood drop.
No, you can't be deranged and attractive. Don't tell the Future Diary fans, though.
Yeah, right.
Can't be both crazy and hot. It's not fair,
It's not like that's a meme. Don't stick your dick in crazy.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's just a life lesson at this point.
It's one I refuse to follow, though.
Character that is functionally and visibly deranged. You can't have a
Functionally
Insane
and physically
asylum
deranged.
Is
What is?
deranged a
what's the
physical
mean-
thing? I thought that was only a mental thing.
It is a mental thing.
Yeah, mentally and physically deranged. So he's just saying nothing right there because that's not a thing.
don't think
I like
that's
how we're
what he's
fucking
talking about.
25 seconds in, and
I rewound it a little bit just because it's hard to keep with the stupid.
To be fair, this guy just keeps on opening his mouth and saying something stupid that most of us can just like immediately shut down.
character be so composed and so luring unless that's part of her character, which is clearly not, because she has
Clearly.
a child's face, a child's feet, indicating that
a
child-
child's face on a child's. She's got a monster face.
She has
Right.
giant spiky teeth, pink and blue eyes, and giant fuck off claws. Also,
as far
she's
as,
like- I think 5'3", which is not exactly tall, but that's taller than a child.
as far as looking childlike and not actually being a child, I give you Exhibit A with Becca from Edge Runners. She was an adult, but she looked like a child.
I don't really think the best
I mean,
you
she
get
was
out of
thick,
me is she
but-
might look like a teenager. Definitely not a child.
Possibly, definitely not a child. Well, I mean, it's all considered adolescence,
Of course,
but still.
I have a feeling he's gonna. Just from the title, I have a feeling he's gonna say some stupid shit about how sexualized she is. And it's like, what? Because she's got a skirt on?
No,
Also,
it's
she's
because
supposed
people
to
have
be
a
a
foot
vampire.
fetish, and he probably does as well, but he would never admit it.
Yeah.
I'll-
Also,
I-
she's supposed to be a vampire. She's probably like thousands of years old.
no,
so
she's not a
it's-
vampire. She's a
no?
blood construct.
Okay.
So
she's
basically,
nothing.
her origin is the Black Rose, which is basically LeBlanc. I don't
Yeah.
actually know anybody else who's important in it other than
She's
LeBlanc
dead.
and her minions.
I think Talon was in it at one point.
No, I don't think so. But
think
either
so.
way, I think Talon was manipulated by her. Actually, you might be right about that.
Point being
Uh,
is she's basically just some blood magic given form to go
Yeah,
kill
she-
shit, and then she did it very poorly.
Yeah, she was.
'Cause
She
she
was
get-
made. She was made out of a blood drop, and then she got her form. They equipped her with stuff. They sent her on a mission. She failed, so they put that a giant shackle on her to help her stay composed.
No, Swain's the one that put that on her when they captured her.
And no, LeBlanc did.
I think it was Swain. Regardless, she went on 2 missions, failed both of them, and then got captured. She's
Yeah.
because she's not actually a person. She's a
Golem.
blood golem.
Yeah, I mean, she has a personality, but
Yeah,
that's
she's
a side
developing a personality.
That's a side effect of eating people.
Point
So
being,
I think she might get their memories and shit when she steals their blood.
I don't think it's mentioned that if she does or doesn't, but
Yeah, I don't think it's mentioned one way or another, but I think that's how she's getting her personality. Not that I know.
welcome to our
'Cause she's
League of
kind of a-
Legends
she's
theory
kind of a-
video.
She's kind of a nuts kid.
She's also
lady.
the newest champ at time of recording, so there's not much to go on.
I still don't really think she's a kid, but
that
that's what
she
this
is
guy's gonna
that
argue.
classic horror trope of a child. In The Rain and a whole countless other horror films, it is always a child because children have that kind of creepiness about them. If you
Children are creepy. I mean, I don't disagree, but
I mean, children can be creepy. Absolutely.
you know,
This guy
Jason
is-
Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, all children.
This guy might
I
have
mean,
wanted.
you could go Isaac from Children of the Corn.
I mean, even Isaac from Dead Space was once a child.
Well, I was more thinking of an actual child protagonist or
I
antagonist.
was going by what Ryan was saying.
I was trying to think of like child antagonists, like they're known for being creepy. It's like what, the Exorcist girl whose name I can't think of.
That's because
Then the
she's
Ring,
like
who's a ghost, and then
Mara.
Children of the Corn are the three big ones for child antagonists.
You could argue Chucky.
Ah,
No,
no,
he's a
that's a
toy.
grown man and a toy.
He's a guy whose soul is trapped in a toy.
Well, the toy looks like a child, and that's creepy. But
Based
I think
off
that
my buddy.
I think it's more the doll that's creepy than the fact it's a childlike doll.
Anyway, I'm gonna rewind it a bit to see what the fuck he was saying.
In
Nothing.
The Rain and a whole countless other horror films, it is always a child because children have that kind of creepiness about them if you turn them that way. Which would have been a perfect opportunity to use in this design, but instead they resort to the basic sexualization for no reason other than skin sales. My first impression.
What?
She is
I guess-
sexualized because they want to sell skins,
I
but
wanna
those skins
point
are not out yet.
I want to point out that like pretty much everything that needs to be covered up is covered up. I would not say that this is sexualized one bit, unless you have a
No.
foot fetish, which is on you. It's not. I mean, kids run around with bare feet all the time, especially since especially because she's mad. And she looks like she's crazy. That's fine.
To me, she looks like more like a yordle, just like a tall one.
Child,
Like, have you ever seen the art where they make the yordles not short?
yeah, it's weird.
I haven't seen that. No.
I like and she reminds me of like that art kind of.
He does have pointed ears.
Yeah,
See the
but
ear
I
poking
don't
out.
know. I
I don't really.
I like her costume. I don't really think it's sexualized.
I don't consider it
you can
sexualized.
dress I think you dress a golem up however you want to, and if you get sexualized by it, that's your problem.
You know, like it'd be different if she was in like a micro bikini or something.
Right.
You know?
I mean, this is like I said.
That would be pretty obvious, but she's got basically a tank top on and a skirt.
Well, he also says she has a child's face, but last time I checked, children don't have a mouthful of fangs.
Yeah, no, I think
Or
it's just that her skin's smooth. I
Fucking
think that's
weird
the only-
eyes.
She
Yeah, I
looks
think that-
youthful. She does not necessarily. Like, she could be 21 for all you know. I've seen quite a few 21, 18-year-olds that are considered adults that have a very, especially nowadays, that have extremely youthful like features. Like, you could mistake them for children.
Especially with things like face wash and stuff.
Yeah.
Help keep your skin real
Less
smooth.
wrinkles.
Like that's all that it really
Wrinkles.
looks like. She looks like, honestly, I'd say she looks almost like she's some kind of sea creature. If we didn't know what she was already, like I'd say she's some kind of sea creature. Just if you wanted to go that route because of her skin being so smooth looking,
She
but
does kind of give off shark vibes.
yeah,
Uh,
like some kind of mer shark.
So Briar are it's a missed opportunity. You could have had a really cool horror child
Like I
in
said.
your game, but instead
They have
you just
Annie.
have a pointless vampire girl who's just there for sex appeal.
Do they have any other vampire girls in League? I thought the only one they have is Vlad, who's not a
Well,
girl.
to be
vampire.
fair, Vlad's most sexier than this lady.
I mean,
Right.
yes.
especially with this Dairy Queen head.
It's
I love his Count Chocula mod.
Yeah, the mod's getting rid. The greatest thing about that is there were fucking marshmallows when he turned into a bull cereal.
R.I.P. mods.
No, but yeah, just that we have a creepy child character. She's very popular. She's one of the first characters. Name is Annie.
hmm Although they've kind of ruined her storyline with the new lore.
And
I mean,
don't
before
know.
she was
On
just,
that.
I was gonna say before she was just crazy and burnt her whole family home down, and now it's
more accidental.
more accidental.
I wouldn't say it's ruined it. I would just say they changed it.
Well, it's ruined like the evil aspect of it.
I mean, she's still carrying around an eldritch demon.
Oh, definitely. But like, she's not as crazy anymore as she had been.
There's a very distinct separation between her like in-game dialogue and some of the stories they wrote, and then her trailer.
Well, that's because they
'Cause
kept her
they're
in-game dialogue to what it used to be.
Yeah, but we're not, I don't really want to get into all of that because that's a
Right.
very long rabbit hole.
Sorry
When
for all
it
the
could have been
tangents.
an amazing story about a tormented child. Briar could have been something truly unique, but instead she's just that vampire girl in literally every game and looks like a mobile games character.
And looks like a mobile game character, huh? I disagree.
I also disagree. Also,
I don't know what he's talking about with that.
he keeps mentioning. Okay, I'm gonna rewind that just a
I
tad.
think he's like talking
That's
about
cool.
like the type of mobile game that have like the really scantily clad, everybody's scantily clad type shit going on.
Yeah,
Like
but
he's
Like
talking about
like
characters like that who have like no actual substance other than, hey, look at this character we just pulled out of our butt that looks like a Valkyrie or looks like a fish person. What's their lore? Hold on a second. They came
uh
from.
no,
Uh,
it's no, or what it comes up is they go, what's their lore? And they go, she's a G cup.
I mean that's fair too.
That's that kind of cell phone game lore.
Yeah.
hold on, he said something. I wanna.
This vampire girl who's just there for sex appeal. When it could have been an amazing story about a tormented child. Briar could have been something truly unique, but instead she's just that vampire girl in literally every game.
He's saying she could have had his tragic child backstory crap, but she's not that at all. She's not human. She's a blood golem.
Vampires don't actually exist in Runeterra, by the way.
It's just
He-
Vlad with
they-
hemomancy, right?
Hemiomancy is what makes people think you're a vampire. And to be fair, the hemiomancers all act kind of like vampires. But it's actually just an art from the Darkened.
Mhm.
So,
The point being, he
what
wants.
does he mean? Every fucking game has a vampire lolly. That's bullshit.
Oh, you know, Mortal Kombat, Dynasty Warriors, Legend of Zelda. They all have vampire lollies.
Well, this guy's just talking and he isn't actually like showing any proof of what he's talking about.
It's also called a design analysis, and it's not so far. Maybe we'll be
No.
surprised. But he's also just talking about her backstory should be is this, but it isn't. So it makes me wonder: did he just not look at her lore? Was this video released before he read it, or what? Probably. People are dumb.
And
I like the
looks like a
spikes
mobile
by her
games
ankles.
character. Yeah, that's how bad.
Why is he called a mobile game? I don't know. The way he said mobile games. A mobile games character. It sounded weird the way he said it.
I mean, it doesn't really look like a mobile game art style to me, but I could be wrong. I don't.
I mean, some mobile games have really good art, and some mobile games even have technically a gameplay loop. But yeah, I don't really get that from her.
No, all mobile games bad. Moving on.
Could have been so good if they had just went the full 9 yards and just chosen to stick with the concept of a creepy child. It's not just the pointless sexualization that's
The concept of a creepy child. Her concept wasn't a creepy child, I would guess. It was probably a berserking blood monster.
But in the
really-
in the Death Notes, they even say what the three aspects of her personality are. Like, so she's insecure, which is why she constantly rubs her toes together like that. She's restrained because she's basically a feral monster,
Mhm.
and she's basically excited to be around people.
I really think this guy knows nothing about this character and he's just assuming a lot of things.
I think this is
Probably.
a bot. I think this video was made by a bot, and we're just stupid for reacting to it.
You know, it with the voice it could very well be. I completely forgot that people have been using AI to do this crap lately.
Mhm.
I hate the future.
bad about Briar. It's also the so many missed opportunities. They could have had her wearing an asylum gown, like the hospital gown, and that's torn and frayed and dirty. And
So he wants a classic TV trope of
He
a
wants her
design.
to be something that
but-
she's not.
He basically
Yeah.
wants the crazy girl from like an asylum, like an not like the studio, but like if you do a ghost movie that takes place in like an asylum, typically you'll have a ghost in a straitjacket at some point, and the straitjacket will be ripped open and they'll have long hair. It's basically what he wants.
Yeah, he wants a cliche.
Due to what Saber says, here's what I think happened. I think somebody subjected an AI to watching hours of incel cringe videos and then gave them the plot of this character and said, and
I don't
typed in Briar sexualization bad. and then let the AI just go.
Oh no. You might be
I
right.
mean, maybe.
We'll find out, though, I'm sure.
Instead of getting that very amazing design of
The very amazing design of a generic cliche asylum jacket.
Right?
Yeah,
God
the
damn
very
it.
amazing design of a asylum ghost.
Okay. I'm still waiting for the design analysis to actually start.
Doubt it. We're already.
We're halfway through almost.
Uh,
It's not. Do you think he's gonna bring up the fact that she has 2 spikes going through her ankles to keep her from probably moving around as much?
Right. I think that's kind of cool looking.
I think it is. I also think it's cool looking, but
a demented child vampire. That would be an amazing horror character for League of Legends. And League of Legends really only has one horror character right now, and that's Fiddlesticks.
what?
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 yeah, League of Legends is the one.
Even with the new lore, Annie's still technically a horror character.
Nocturne,
Nocturne's a
Thresh,
good
Hecarim.
example.
Thresh, Hecarim, Elise.
I
Evelyn.
mean,
Like I keep, yeah.
yeah, Evelyn like tortured Vane's parents and then killed him.
All the void shit.
Annie.
Well, technically, Kog'Maw's not really a horror creature because he's sort of whimsical in his story, but
I mean, he
Yeah,
still
like,
dissolves
outside
If you
people and
saw
eats
him,
them.
you would be terrified.
he does still dissolve
All
people and eat
voidlings,
them.
all darken.
Yeah.
Morgana,
Yeah, I don't know.
Hale, in
I
a
would
different way.
definitely
Hale-
would say that he is 100% wrong on this one.
Meeting Kale would be terrifying.
I mean, with just the fact Nocturne exists as a prime
Yeah.
example, even if he did get lasered by Lux.
Brand,
Brand. Tom Kench.
Kench,
A big ass greed demon who's gonna make a deal with you then eat you. Like fuck that.
Demon Bird Swain turns into.
Rom,
Yeah, Rom.
Yeah, Rom.
that's the demon bird's name.
I mean, they could keep
I
going
still
on.
Rek'Sai.
I still think they need to make the flamingo Swain skin.
Yes.
I know he doesn't turn into a bird anymore, but it needs to exist. Where he has flamingos instead of doves. Be the next
Valentine's skin.
Valentine
Penguins.
skin.
Right. I
Christmas
know you're
skin.
not listening, but
Right. We think this character has a good design. Therefore, you should give us the Swain skin we've always wanted.
Flamingo Swain.
Flamingo.
Flamingo Swain.
Give us everything. Do it.
Put him in a poncho.
No, I want a beautiful pink suit.
I want him to have a big,
They already have
Pink,
the pink suit in the
fluffy
Valentine's Day one.
boa.
Yes.
One horror character right now, and that's Fiddlesticks. Every other character is very much not meant to be a horror character. Maybe Warwick could be considered a horror character, but
No, he could
the vast
be.
majority of them
He is a horror
I
character.
actually forgot about Warwick.
He's
Well,
a Frankenstein
he's a horror
werewolf
character.
running around the
he's
city.
he's a Frankenwolf, and
Like-
his trailer is a horror video where the dude
look-
hides in the elevator and gets eaten.
Even though he doesn't technically look like it, even Singe is a horror character. The mad
Yeah.
scientist who does experiments on himself.
Read his short story; it's really good.
Like, so there's only one horror character in League? Again, we've already disproven him.
You know, there's only one if you're a retard.
aren't really horror
Don't look into it.
characters, and to have another horror character alongside Fiddlesticks would be amazing. Evelyn,
is not
she
it.
kind of fits that, but she's really just horny bait. Briar could have
What? She is
She is a demon of lust. That
She
is
is-
literally what she is supposed
She
to
is
be.
a succubus, basically.
and she kills you
Yeah.
with her
She'll get what she
big
wants and then you're dead.
spicy tentacle things.
No, she's just horny bait. You know, you could. It's
This is why I think it's an AI. Horny bait's a weird thing to call her.
It might be an AI. I don't
Because
know.
like thing I've
Okay.
noticed, because like the one review channel I watch basically switched to being AI. AI finds certain words really funny, like
Mhm.
smelly. So I'm listening for that one. But like the horny bait kind of tipped me towards that this is 100% AI.
Could be.
Like no supervision, just AI had picture and made a video with it, some parameters.
Like I said, it was made to listen to some things that were already cringy like this, and
This is stupid.
You're welcome.
keep going.
been the best champion released this year, but instead, they just default to the classic sex sells argument which is just boring and played out. Like, we have
It's
enough
not played out.
dramas.
Sex still sells.
Even
Even though
if
I
it
don't think
was
that's what.
played out.
Even though that's not what they're doing for her.
No.
You could argue they made her attractive, but they make every character attractive in some form or fashion, so, like... The
I
fuck...
mean, yeah. So, like...
the fuck does
mean-
that mean?
She's got claws, giant fucking spiky... I think she still looks kind of like a shark monster. Really glad
Like-
Aura said that, because I kind of put it
Yeah.
into what
Oh,
I was thinking. She even got fish
goofy.
eyes.
Goofy, homely looking characters can sell, but it has to fit what they are and what they are supposed to be.
They usually have to be
Singed
written
is
really well.
ugly,
Yeah.
but he is supposed to be ugly.
Even though I disagree with it, I think the argument that she's a Noxus Jinx is a better one.
They kind of.
I disagree. I don't think that's what she is, but
No, I don't think
It-
that's what
she-
it's supposed to be, but
it's a better argument than this nonsense.
yeah.
No, these arguments are perfect. Don't think about it.
Aurelia's, Evelyn's, pretty much every female character looks the same in League of Legends, and that's really sad.
Ignore allow
Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai. Allow
Rek'Sai is a
Rek'Sai.
giant scorpion thing that burrows.
No,
Allow-
Rek'Sai, same thing as Lux.
So while
Yeah.
he is off saying that all the characters in League of Legends look the same, I think what he meant to say, and he was really bad about saying it, is that all the characters are typically all the other characters are usually like
Attractive.
hot, attractive, which
Tristana.
I have seen
That's true.
I've seen
mean,
other videos of people like talking about how like all the characters are pretty much the same. They're just big mommy characters, and usually there's times where you don't necessarily need attractive characters. And
Well, I think they have a decent amount of women that I wouldn't consider attractive, like Renata Glass. I don't think
that
she's
was
attractive.
that was one exception that I seen in a video. They were
Well-
kind of happy that they finally got her.
A Poppy, I don't think is attractive. None of the Yordle chicks really. So there's
Except for Lolly finish.
there's like a whole bunch. They're not even Hollies. They're like weird
They're-
gnomes.
Yeah, they're short stacks. That's the fetish.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
Um.
that's the people that would go for it.
Well, I mean, it's still doesn't support that they're all attractive. It'd be like saying like Fizz and Garen. They're both about the same. They're both attractive in their own right. It's like,
Well, this
I guess.
I mean, yeah,
definitely
if you know,
like female characters.
so like,
I
yes,
think- I
they're
don't know, I think
attractively. Their design is attractive because it's a product at the end of the day, but what attractive does not mean sexualization.
Leave the pretty characters and give us some more like less conventionally hot characters that are also cool looking.
Yeah, like Renata Glass.
Who is really popular?
And so
I'm just gonna say like
Yeah.
not attractive or like there are only a couple characters I think are supposed to be really hot, and that's not very many out of the cast of the female characters. It's just that most of them don't have Walmart bodies, which is what people seem to want
Well,
when they make these kind of those
Yeah.
kind of arguments. Like if you hang out at a gym or you hang out at Walmart, you're gonna have two very different
Definitely.
definitions of what the standard body type is. You know.
Definitely, you're gonna be fit. Well, if you're in a world like Runeterra, you're gonna be fit. Otherwise, you're probably gonna die.
especially since
Unless-
most of the
unless
named
you're
cast
Gragas.
are named cast because they do shit.
Yeah.
Unless you're Gragas,
He's like a pseudo
But
god
he's-
thing.
but he's known for drinking. So
He came out when they were spamming characters, which is
Yeah.
why he was broken for a while.
for a while,
He's not as bad as he used to be.
no, he's
Still
not
annoying though.
Bring that back a minute.
Every female character looks the same in League of Legends, and that's really sad. And to have Briar just be another titty bait. And they could still
Another titty bait.
Stop looking at her titties then.
He doesn't even
Well,
have big titties to begin with.
Most
And they're
chicks in the
completely
league actually
covered.
Don't.
They're completely covered.
I'm trying to even think who are the ones with the big titties in the league. It's like what, Misfortune?
Misfortune, Sona, and Ari.
Yeah.
Ryan, I could see her armpit. How dare they?
Cover her
And
up
she-
with a shawl.
And
Also,
she
the way she
shaked it.
moves. If you were to put her in more restrictive clothing, there's no way she could move around like that.
Again, because she is supposed to be like a berserking blood golem assassin thing.
Because like if you see her in the video, she's like launching herself around like a. I don't even know how you would.
Well, she
Like a
makes like little
jackrabbit.
blood wings when she jumps out and stuff.
She's a
Like
flush,
a rabbit.
like a torpedo.
Yeah.
Still have made her
Feeding
sexy.
frenzy.
They just, this is not the way to do it. This is not the way how you make something sexy. You don't just slap pretty clothes on it, put some makeup,
What makeup?
So he wants her to be sexy.
But she's not really wearing makeup.
She's also not really wearing pretty clothes. She's wearing rags.
Not wearing makeup at all.
Like, she's got like leather restraints on her foot that have spikes going through it.
Yeah, she has spikes going through her ankles with some leather wrappings around her shins. She's
I think
wearing.
I know why he's
It
confused.
looks like she's got like a what might have been some kind of jacket.
Yeah,
I
for
think,
the.
I think I know why he's confused on her look.
Yeah.
So I think she looks like this because this is probably the clothing that the jail put her in. I don't think
Yeah.
she would probably wear this normally. This looks like very minimalistic, which is what you probably would have in like in a medieval jail. You
It
don't
even
want
looks
her
like
to
it's
be
got
able
locks
to.
on it.
Yeah, you don't want. It probably has like the weird restrictions in the ankles, which is where the knives are, so she can't move around. Like this all looks like it is designed with a purpose.
Yeah.
Considering her trailer, and she's wearing this costume in the prison cell when she breaks out.
There is probably some embellishments to make her look cooler, but all in all, like this all looks like the straps on her arms. Those probably were strapped into like a bed or something.
Well, also, if she is a prisoner of interest, like, because I think it's Swain who caught her and was trying to figure out what the fuck she was, probably would, as she's developing a personality, as it's happening, you'd probably be like, can I get this thing on my side? Yes, we'll give her a slightly nicer shirt. I don't
like
think
how
that's
we're-
that far of a guess. I like how we're putting more design analysis
Yeah.
in this fucking design analysis video.
What I was gonna say.
I'm sure he's about to really blow us away with his accurate analysis, and he's not going to bitch about her being too sexy.
I'm just waiting
Hasn't
for
said
the.
anything yet
I don't-
other than sexy.
Like I said, I think she's average looking as far as like appearance goes.
I'm not attracted to children, so I couldn't tell you if she's attractive or not.
I don't.
I don't really think she looks like a child personally.
She just
But
looks
that's
like.
what this guy's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I
She
was
looks like
She
a
looks
lead
okay.
character.
Like I'm not gonna have dreams about her unless she's killing me,
The best kind of dreams.
right?
just be another titty bait. And they could still have made her sexy. They just, this is not the way to do it. This is not the way how you make something sexy. You don't just slap pretty clothes on it, put
So he's bitching about how they need to make her sexier, but
Well, he's saying this is not the way they could have made her sexy, but they could have made her sexy.
I don't think he's looking at the video because these are not pretty clothings. These are bare boned,
they're just
light metal and leather clothing.
yeah.
Her
They're,
I would
original
not. I would
costume
not.
was more
I don't think they're
mummy-like.
pretty. I don't think they're pretty. It's only really mummy because of the leg pieces.
Yeah, oh wait, no, I'm thinking the wrong thing. Never mind. I was thinking the wrong
It,
thing.
it looks like a
I was-
prisoner.
There's a Genshin character coming up that's supposed to be a mummy.
Oh, she looks like a prisoner.
it looks just stylized because she's a named character.
Everything about her looks like it screams. We've been doing everything we can to try to keep her from moving around, trying to get to anything. We don't want her to leave this jail. We don't want her to hide like knives and stuff on her body, so we give her somewhat skin tight leather clothing so that she can't like hide anything that we couldn't quickly find. Like this is all it all looks fine. It's not sexualized. Like I'm seeing a little bit of thigh, but I
How
don't really
dare.
consider that thigh sexy.
How dare you?
Also, like, yeah, you want to be able to see if she's hiding anything on her. Obviously, they probably keep her legs bound up in some way, shape, or form.
Well, we
so she
already
can't-
know if they put her in a
crazy
skin tight uniform, this guy would bitch
Right.
about it because of the Kaisa comment.
Right. Like I said, there's no flesh that you can actually see on there except for the voidling's flesh on Kaisa. So I could not even consider that sexy.
We're talking about the first time I saw Kaisa. My first thought wasn't, why is there a common writer into this? My first thought was, how can I fuck it? Because I am a very normal individual.
My first thought was when they brought her out, I'm like, oh, she's kind of like Venom. But she's got a symbiote on her.
Yes, and your first thought when you saw Venom when you were 3 years old was like, how can I fuck him?
Exactly. And then you find out that he basically fucks himself and makes carnage.
Exactly. Some people need to get off the fucking internet. They spend too much time on it.
Well, they really do. That's why I called him an incel in the beginning.
Some makeup.
I don't disagree.
Nice little hair accessory. No, you.
Hair accessory? What? Does she have a hair
Nice
accessory?
little
I think he's saying that this is what he would want.
Hold on, I gotta look something up.
I mean, her hair's tinted.
Briar model.
Her hair has like a pink tint to it because I'm assuming the blood connection.
Go back a couple seconds again, because I think he's talking about what he would want.
Yeah.
And that's really sad. And to have Briar just be another titty bait. And they could still have made her sexy. This is not the way to do it. This is not the way how you make something sexy. You don't just slap pretty clothes on it, put some makeup, put some nice little hair accessory. No, you need to actually have a pretty design. And you could have still made her pretty.
Yeah, she doesn't have a hair accessory. I'm looking at her model in 3D right now.
Yeah, I was wrong. He was
he's
saying that he thinks she has that. I don't think he's looking at her.
Saber might be right about this AI thing.
I think it's AI.
Because it just keeps contradicting itself. Of course, people also contradict themselves because they're really stupid.
Sexualized? That just doesn't work with the character.
So, like, I'm gonna link something real fast for you guys to look at. This is like her original concept art, like, or earlier concept art. Where's Discord at? Here it is.
Still got the blades, but they're bigger.
Yeah, so that's like her earlier concept art. And it's still an imprisoned vampire. She has a hood on in this one, and not really a hair accessory.
I kind of like the idea that she mutilates herself to draw the blood out.
She does that in game. She still does that.
Okay.
So that's how her passive works.
I wonder
But
if
yeah,
she'll
she
have
doesn't.
a...
I'm thinking he thinks the gemstone in her, the thing that holds her hands up, I think he thinks the gemstone in there is a hair accessory.
That's why
Or he
I
thinks
think
the whole
doesn't...
thing is a hair accessory.
Maybe.
But it's not. It's literally...
Giant cuff thing.
Yeah, her handcuffs.
Her handcuffs.
Stocks.
Yeah,
her little stockade thing. But yeah, like, if he thinks the whole stockade is a hair accessory, well, first off, that's not a nice hair accessory. It literally has spikes pointing at you.
Right.
What is this,
Second
Warcraft
off,
armor?
And second off, she like
Don't
breaks
sneeze.
it in half to berserk at people.
Mhm.
Because that gemstone keeps her calm, which is why she kicks it and then charges people. Because for her ult, she kicks that gemstone at you, and then whoever it hits, she can charge to from however far away she is, which is pretty far. I've seen her go from like deep in the jungle to the river across the map.
Yeah, like, I forget which one of you said it, but she's like a torpedo.
Anyway.
She's not even pretty in a creepy way. She's
What?
just like, she doesn't give me any creepy vibes.
He's contradicting himself so much.
I know.
But she is creepy. She's got a creepy face. She looks like a shark.
Well, earlier he said she's too pretty. Then he said she's not pretty enough.
Nope.
Now he's back to she is pretty. Or not pretty again.
She just doesn't. She's not a creepy character this way. And she could have been so much more. My only complaints with her are just stop making her sexy for no reason. It adds nothing of value to the character. And
Oh well, you see,
At what
if we're gonna play by your logic and call her a vampire, which she isn't, seducing people to eat them.
is very beneficial.
Having
Yeah,
a childlike charm to get people to
Let their guard down.
let down their guard
Yeah.
down. You know,
Yeah,
so
these
you can just bite them in
these
the
are
neck.
these are very important traits for a vampire to have when they're eating.
I mean, look at the friend she made in the jail.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, buddy." At
And
any
she
point in
kills him
time,
to
like,
escape.
yeah, at any point in time, she could have gotten super close to him because he's so confused of what's going on. Not that he could have stopped her anyway.
Well, no, but
skins
she
are
still steals
easier
his
to
blood.
make for horror champions because you can go on that theme, or you could do a reverse horror.
Skins are pretty easy to make for every champion in League of Legends if they are just humanoid.
Even if they're not humanoid, they're still easy to make. Look at Skarner. Like, even though most of his skins are still a scorpion, they're different.
Well,
You can
yeah,
get a
because
cosmic scorpion or a ruined scorpion or an actual
yeah,
scorpion.
I was just saying it's easier if they're humanoid because then you can just do pool party, winter,
Oh
Valentine, yada yada
yeah.
yada, Halloween. Like, I don't.
I
The
mean, if she came out with a bewitching costume, it might be cool. She'd probably have a hat then.
I could see her with a witch costume.
we'll have to wait and see.
It'll probably be too
easier to
sexualized.
make for horror champions because you can go on that theme, or you could do a reverse horror thing like Surprise Party Fiddlesticks, where it's something funny to contrast with the horror, or Pool Party Rek'Sai. Not a horror champ, but it's still funny to see a horror-like character or some sort of monster be turned into a pool party skin or a surprise.
Not a horror character, but a horror character.
One is a monsters character.
Which,
Like
in its own
Rek'Sai.
way, is a horror.
Well,
Joke.
yeah, she's got like
Monsters
a whole
are-
little
This-
monsters are
brood.
scary.
This
Monsters
scre-
turn on you.
This is screaming of someone who is too married to genres, and that might sound weird to say, so I'll explain further. Where they can't. They know what the genre is. The genre is horror. And horror has slasher villains, ghosts, and zombies and shit. It doesn't have monsters, because then that's a monster genre movie.
That's possible. I mean, that at that point, it's just a subtype of horror.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless it's Godzilla.
to
I would
talk
not
about a
consider Godzilla
horrifying
horror.
movie, the movie Teeth. Like that girl uses the fact that she's attractive to get her snacks.
Yes, and we will not comment further.
Party. That is a lot of skin concepts you can do with this. So, do I think Briar is a bad design? No, she does what she does, and it works.
What
What?
is this? What is this shit? I'm
Yes,
confused.
He hasn't commented on her design at all, other than bitching.
Do I think she's bad? No.
No,
You-
he's
you-
commented on how
you
she
do.
has a hair ornament, idiot.
Yeah. That's why I don't think he's actually seen her.
I
Or at least
That's
the
why
video that
I don't
posted
think he
on her.
can see her because I think he's an AI.
That's very possible.
I would have to actually look at the channel more and figure this out, but I'm
I
too
don't
lazy to
want
do
to.
that.
But it's a very huge missed opportunity. It's still an acceptable design, but it could have been so good. It could have been the Jin of 2023 for League designs. It could have been
The-
perfection.
Why
It could
Jin?
have
Jin.
been amazing. But they just
Fine,
decided
but he's
to
not great.
I mean, Jin has a good design, but it's a
He's
weird.
not
It's a
the-
weird. It's a weird comparison for wanting a monstrous
He is
design.
not the magnum opus of any year for a League design. There's characters I would say fit
I
better
don't know
with
how
what
many
they
came out
wanted.
the same year as Jin,
I
so I,
don't
can't
know.
say.
It's just a weird
It's a weird.
thing
it
for
came out
AI
years
to
ago.
say.
Yeah. It'd be like
Mhm.
it was like, Uter is the magnum opus of the
Uter is
first
the
release
Uter of-
champion.
Uter is the Uter of League of Legends. Yes, this is true.
Listen, we all know the best champion design in the entire game is, of course, none other than Super Villain Vigor. Everything else after that has just been a downgrade.
Herb villain.
It could have been amazing. But they just decided to not take a risk. They decide it's not even a risk. Everybody wants more
What?
fiddlesticks. They want more darken. They want more.
Do they?
That we just got a Darkin, Neferi.
No. It's
Just because she's a dog doesn't mean she's not a Darkin.
horror characters. They want more cool, badass people.
And-
They don't want yet another sexy lady.
she's gonna sell
She's
well, so
fine.
I beg to differ.
But she could have been so good. It would have been so easy to make her absolutely incredible and something truly unique. Unless she has some amazing lore or really good
Why do people do that? Why do they always say lore with such disdain?
I've never noticed that, so
gameplay.
that might be a common thing.
She
I
just
just never
doesn't
really pay attention.
work.
Did it just cut itself off?
I'm not gonna be interested in her. She just doesn't work.
Yeah, he said she just doesn't work, even though he said her design was fine.
Wow, what a retard. If that was
but-
not AI, that was something. Anyway, next video. Also about Briar.
It is no surprise.
This one I'm not sure if it's trolling or not. I honestly can't tell. I'll let that up to you to decide.
Hi. It is no surprise that everyone have seen the newest league champion, Briar. You'd expect to see some sort of a vampire, bloodthirsty monster with a devil looking like armor and a wicked medieval weapon. But no, we live in the League of Legends realm, ladies and gentlemen, where sex sells. So Riot decided to make Briar look exactly like a child.
Again, Briar doesn't look like a child to me.
Yeah, no.
A teenager, maybe, but
Like, I
also
you could make the argument.
she's not a vampire. She's a blood golem.
Well, this explains a lot. I found the guy's YouTube page, and about what you would expect. Everybody's pretty much calling him out on it.
At her feet while lowering the contrast on other side of her body. It's
Her feet.
I just want to point out he's got a fucking anime girls dancing right there.
That's
and
why-
the airhead of the series.
That's why I can't tell if this is trolling or not.
This needs to stop. All right, well, let's keep going.
like the focus on her feet wasn't by accident. Now, I'm not here trying to stop Riot from cashing out money from degenerate, desperate weirdos who fantasize about children, no. But it's really low creating a child-looking like character than throwing a random age number above 100, however.
Again, neither of these things are things that happen. She doesn't have an age given. If she does, it's probably honestly like 2.
Yeah.
And also, she doesn't look like a child. I'm just gonna approach the arguments as if they're not trolling, because I can't tell.
Well, I mean, that's all you can really do.
What's the pronoun to this construct? Basically,
They.
what this comes down to.
Doom.
You're probably gonna
I
die
find it
before you
interesting
can
that
say
They
it.
give her a witch-colored torture device on her neck, giving the impression that she's a wild child that cannot be controlled. Also, the spikes on her ankle.
Again, she's a wild blood golem that can't be controlled, so yes, that would make sense to have restraints.
That everyone missed because they were staring at her feet. They are really cool. I believe that Briar has a great potential and her kit could possibly be a good counter to most top laners. On a serious
noticed
note,
the
if
spikes.
the champion acts like a child, talks like a child,
Yeah, but you don't have a foot fetish, presumably, so...
True.
Unlike most people who seem to be bitching about it.
Look
and
at
looks
Zoe.
like a child, then it's a child. You cannot even search Briar on Google without getting hit with an
I want to point out that Google, how that shit works is the AI takes up shit you type up to give you results, so...
Mm-hmm.
That's on you, buddy.
unbelievable amount
I
of
just want to point out
inputs
there's a
by-
lot of shit before her feet show up.
Yeah.
Also, that's just like even right before she came out, foot fetish stuff had just taken off again for no reason.
Warwick doesn't wear shoes. You don't hear people fantasizing about his feet.
Well, now you've said something.
Does
Good.
Tali wear shoes?
She might.
The rock chick doesn't. I don't think wear shoes either.
I think
Can't
that's her
remember her
name,
name.
right? Isn't it Tali?
Is that
Taylor?
who you were talking about?
Tyla?
Yeah.
I don't play her, so I don't know her name.
Point
I don't remember
being, that your algorithm will change.
Either way,
depending
there's
on what you type
there's plenty of pool party skins where people don't have shoes on.
in. Yeah.
Lee Sin, I don't think wears shoes in his pool party skin.
If
I
anything,
think he
wears
doesn't wear
sandals.
shoes, period, does he? Or does he just wear... Oh, maybe he wears sandals.
Nah,
He wears
might
the
wear-
kung fu shoes.
Yeah, he might
yeah,
wear.
does.
he might
I
wear-
thought he wore wraps.
Oh, Uter doesn't wear shoes, I don't think.
Probably. It would make sense if he didn't, because he's a hard ass.
Cho'Gath doesn't wear shoes, so there we go.
feet
I don't know.
pictures. But a
This
new
feet-
picture
this
of
feet
Briar
thing
with
is
the
weird.
shoes have surfaced the internet lately, but it was quickly debunked as it seems like a random internet vigilant gave her shoes and protected the assets. Briar
He gave her shoes and protected the assets. What did he
It's-
protect?
The assets being her feet because foot fetish joke or something, I don't know.
If foot fetish joking is a thing, who cares? It doesn't matter.
Again,
If you want a foot job, go for it, man. You might even be able to be flexible enough to do it yourself if you, are flexible enough to do that.
but the really bad Photoshop shoe thing, honestly,
Yeah,
anyone should have been able to
yeah,
look at it and be like, no shit, that's Photoshopped.
Yeah, you can clearly see it's a different art style on top of the toes. And all I did was cut out where the toes are on top of each other.
All they did was cover it with
This
a really
is-
shitty paint job.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's like the
vigilant
old-
gave her
There's like not even shading on it, really.
I was gonna say it's like the old biblical story of the Watchers, how they saw a woman's hair, they got so sexually attracted to them that they made Nephilim, and now women can't show their hair anymore.
Yeah.
How
Or
dare
how-
you? It's all your fault because they saw hair.
This is
And
silly.
skin. How dare
Let's
you?
finish this one off so we can be done with this retarded argument.
It's true.
shoes the assets. Briar's feet are like grave cigar but for PDF files. Imagine if Riot decided to make the exposed feet into a
Just calling someone a pedophile just because, like, yes, they don't have a problem with the Briar art because, well, she doesn't look like a child. It's just
I think she looks like a monster, so I don't know.
I don't see a reason for golems to wear shoes.
that's because we're normal. Everyone
You
else
know-
is wrong.
Vertigo never wore. Yeah, I think her name was Vertigo. She never wore shoes.
Was it I think it was Vertigo.
It was like Vertigo or Virgo, something like that.
Regardless,
Primal Rage.
yeah, doesn't wear shoes.
She might have in the sequel, but it never officially released, as far as I know. So
King
No.
Kong never wore shoes.
The Son of Kong also never wore shoes.
cosmetic that sells for $200. That would sell really fast. Are you also excited for the vampire child? Anyways, like and subscribe for more similar content.
Bad foreign voice aside, end of the day, all this shit about her design being sexualized, it's stupid. If you have a foot fetish, good for you. I don't know where else to go with this. Other than that.
Don't
This
act
is all
out on
dumb.
it in public, otherwise you're gonna be put in your place. Just like any fetish.
yeah, no, I don't get it, man. It seems goofy to me. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really fucking matter. If you're talking about the people who make porn and stuff, people make porn of everything.
Mm-hmm. Rule 34 of
So-
the internet, man.
So like, despite how it is, it's just how it is. So if you're talking to them people, you might as well be talking to the wall. And if you're trying to get people to not use this thing or criticize Riot for making this character, Riot doesn't make any money off that faction of the internet. So it's a weird argument.
As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as I know, at least. I guess in theory they could. I just would have no idea.
It's like how Nintendo buys porn.
Well, they basically force you to stop.
It's still funny though.
But yeah, no, this is dumb. Like his video says at the end, this is stupid.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I can't tell if this is trolling or not, but
At least this video was short enough that it didn't make my head feel like it was gonna explode.
I
The
think
other
it
guy.
took us like an hour to get through that other fucking video.
Yeah.
felt like
5 minutes.
Anyway, that's all. Goodbye, people. Let us know.
Bye.